Recognizing the member for Kelowna Mission.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I'm proud to stand and take my place to debate the motion, be it resolved that this House does not support the plan to rebuild the Royal British Columbia Museum for $789 million. The title of this speech should really be, If I Had $1 Billion. And while I'm going to save the House from any singing, you can imagine the premise. You see, the song, If I Had $1 Million, is really about what one would buy, a house, and what one would not buy, a green dress, or a vanity museum, because that's cruel. So at this point in time, with BC's deficit and debt under this NDP government, the highest it has ever been, I could spend my time arguing that we actually don't have $1 billion to spend. But if I were to suspend reality and pretend that for a moment we do, I'll tell you what I would spend if I had $1 billion. Many of my colleagues have used their time to aptly outline the unfathomable price tag this government has stuck on its almost plan to address the structural and cultural issues plaguing the Royal BC Museum. So I'm not going to repeat those. And I'm not going to argue whether it's important to have a museum, because as the flagship museum of our province, the museum has always had the daunting task of protecting and presenting our province's shared history, especially the history of BC's Indigenous peoples. Shocking revelations that have come to light over the past few years have shown a need for a fundamental change in how we are sharing our history and narrative. But why is this going to take $1 billion to accomplish? And why until 2030 to build? Think about it. An entire generation of school children will not get to experience the museum. There will be a financial cost to the City of Victoria's many tourism businesses as well. And in committing to a complete rebuild, who knows how the impact the small and independent businesses in the area for the next half-decade when this major attraction isn't open. And it's not just the plan for the museum itself that has upset and infuriated countless British Columbians, but how this government has once again chosen to conduct and carry out its planning behind closed doors. British Columbians were completely blindsided by this announcement. And it's unacceptable that the business case, informed by zero public consultation, doesn't disclose vital information such as, the value for money analysis, construction cost breakdowns, or even the project's risk matrix. Before construction has even begun, this $1 billion museum is already another example of the lack of transparency we've seen from this government throughout their administration. And if this was a project that came across my desk as a CEO, there is no way it would get approved. If BC has $1 billion, this is not how its residents want us to spend it. British Columbians want money spent on getting family physicians and reforming primary care, instead of the implosion they are experiencing in the healthcare system. British Columbians want complex care facilities for all who need them, including the facility, not just scattered random care. They want housing affordability. They want new and improved transit and transportation throughout BC. How about a bypass in Kelowna? They also want lower gas taxes so that 40% of their paychecks aren't going to fill up their tank, and so that their kids can go to dance and soccer, and they can get to work. They want better affordability and lower cost of living. They want new schools like Glenmore Secondary or Rutland Middle School so that their kids are out of portables or just in safe schools. They want seismic upgrades to the schools that already exist. They want daycare they can afford that is close to where they live and work and during the hours that they require. It's time for this government to rethink its approach and hopefully find one that won't cost $1 billion. Because if I had $1 billion, I would buy BC a house, or at least make it less expensive to get one. Thank you.
Thank you, member.